Mike, sports, vibes. Thank you for vibing with the bull. You already know the vibes. Yo, Tracy McGrady, aka T-Mac, one of the greatest players in NBA history, made it to the Hall of Fame in 2017, I believe, is talking that talk about James Harden. And I'm glad an all-time great is doing this because somebody got to call him out. He did an interview with GQ Sports, and he said this in quote. Let's talk that talk. Tracy McGrady. I look at all the teammates he played with. Or no, this is not how it started. It started with this. I don't understand for the life of me what James Harden is doing. He said, I look at all the teammates he played with. James has probably played with more Hall of Famers than anybody in the league. Shots fired. All right, so just to name a few. You got Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, Kevin Durant with the Thunder, Kevin Durant with the Brooklyn Nets. I know it didn't really work out. Kyrie Irving. Who else? Who else am I missing? I can't think off the top of my head, but I know he did play with a lot of great players. So that's a fact, though. And then he said, and he doesn't have a ring to show for it. Facts. I don't know what he's looking for, and maybe there's some internal BS that is going on that we don't know about. That's true because I always think about Jimmy Butler. That situation was just crazy to me. But to counter that, James Harden been in how many teams? In 3 years, how many teams has he been on? He keeps requesting a trade. So sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and I'm happy Tracy McGrady called him out somewhat. He kind of backtracked a little bit, but not really backtracked. But it's a fact, though. James Harden, no disrespect, you're one of the greatest players of all time, but you haven't accomplished the main goal, and that is to win a championship. You accomplished being an MVP, a assist champion, one of the greatest players of all time, top 100 player. You accomplished a lot in the game, but you didn't get that championship, and you had multiple Hall of Famers like Tracy McGrady is saying, and it's like you're giving up on your team. Like, I feel like you need to stick it out. I don't want him in Philadelphia. I don't want him. I don't want Tobias Harris. I don't want James Harden. Get him out of here. But if you're so close, you're not that far away. You got the MVP of the regular season, Joel Embiid. You got Tyrese Maxey. You got a new head coach that I think is going to really push this team over the top, to be honest with you. I really like Nick Nurse a lot. And it's just, despite all the things you have good, you just think of all the things you have bad. I understand it's a contract situation. You didn't have to take that pay cut last season. You didn't have to get PJ Tucker. Like, you didn't have to do that. And it's a business at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if you would have bought a little bit better in Game 6 and Game 7, we would have got past the Celtics. I guarantee you would have got a max deal. But since you disappeared, they're looking at it as like, you got to look at your age too, James Harden. You got to look in the mirror. Look at your age and look how you balled in those last 2 games in the playoffs against the Celtics. So it's not like you're in your 20s. You're in your 30s now, right? And I'm not saying you're washed. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say you're washed because you're still a very, very good player. But at the end of the day, the last memory that everybody has is not all the stuff you did with the Houston Rockets, not the stuff you did with the Brooklyn Nets. Well, kind of, because you wanted to get out of the Brooklyn Nets too. But we're looking at what you did against the Celtics in Game 6 and Game 7. And it's not all on you why we lost, but we're talking about you because it's like you're the one asking for the trade. And I appreciate Tracy McGrady calling you out on this matter. And just to remind people who Tracy McGrady is, I'm going to say this. The great Kobe Bryant, one of the best players of all time. I said it. Kobe Bryant, one of the best players of all time. And I quote, he said that Tracy McGrady is one of his best friends. And he said, there is a lot of guys, but the guy that always gave me the most problems actually was Tracy McGrady. That's coming from Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant said Tracy McGrady gave him the most problems. He's literally is saying that, what did he say? He said he gives even more praises to Tracy McGrady. This is how great Tracy McGrady is, T-Mac, one of the best of all time, right? He said he could do everything I could do, but he was taller. Now, I mean, that's a lot of praise coming from Kobe Bryant, and we just have to realize, like, I'm saying this because this is not just a random guy speaking on James Harden. He has a say because he is one of the greatest NBA players that ever put a uniform on. Just wanted to give you a little bit about him. He's a two-time All-NBA first team, back-to-back years, 2002 and 2003, a two-time scoring champion in 2003 and 2004, was the most improved player in 2001. It's like, man, a seven-time NBA All-Star. He's one of the greatest, and we need more grace to come out. We need more grace to come out and speak on the NBA and what's going on, because these players are wanting to be on these super teams. These players give up way too quick. It's like, what happened to the dog mentality, man? Like, don't you want to beat these players? Like, why would you want to be on the same team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant? Like, Kevin Durant, he's one of the greatest of all time. But why would you want to go to the Warriors and play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Green and, like, come on, and Iguodala? Like, it's like, do you want any competition? It's not, I don't want to say it's like a fake championship, but come on, man. Like, same with LeBron James. You playing with D Wade, Chris Bosh. It's just like, where's the competition at, man? The NBA needs to be, the talent needs to be spread out a little bit better. And it's like, dang, James Harden, do you want like an all-star team to compete? I know it's the money situation, but I honestly feel like it's making you look bad, bro. It's making you look bad to keep on hopping team to team. And it's like, dude, you're so close to winning a championship. You're in the Eastern Conference. I'm not saying the Eastern Conference is really weak, because there is some tough teams like the Bucks and the Celtics and you know what I mean? And some up-and-coming teams like the Cavs, possibly. But it's like you're just giving up, man. But, yeah, man. That's all I got to say. Tell me in the comments below what you think about this situation and what Tracy McGrady is saying about James Harden, and do you agree on what he's saying? And do you want James Harden to just go? You don't even want him to come back. Do you want James Harden to stay, or do you want James Harden to go? And as always, man, thank you for vibing with the bull. You know the vibes. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you vibing with me. If you're a Philadelphia 76er fan, like and subscribe. Yo, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's the off season, but we just getting started. James Harden going to be traded soon. Tobias Harris for a crumble cookie is about to be traded soon. Let's go Sixers. Let's go get a championship. We ain't win since 1983, and I think this man right here, Joel Embiid, the MVP of the regular season, will get us our championship. Let's go, baby. I'm out.